Habibi gang, welcome back to the show. Matchday 15 is upon us, and we're strapping in for what could be a seismic weekend in the Premier League. Title race, relegation battle, the whole shebang.
Absolutely. Some real crunch clashes coming up this week. You know it.
And you guys know we love bringing you that inside scoop, the good stuff. That's why we've got something a little special lined up for you today. We're going to be running through predictions for every single Matchday 15 fixture, powered by the one and only, the Opta supercomputer.
Gotta love Opta.
Gotta love them.
Remember last season?
Oh, yeah.
Opta's AI was eerily accurate with its predictions. It was spooky how good it was.
Eerily accurate. So let's dive straight into Saturday's fixtures. Kicking off with the Merseyside Derby with massive implications at the top and bottom of the table. Everton versus Liverpool at Goodison Park. And this one, it's going to be the last derby at the old ground unless they meet again in the FA Cup.
Potentially, yeah. Could be the last one.
So Everton, coming into this one, they're buzzing after their 4-0 demolition of Wolves last time out.
Mm-hmm.
Really needed that confidence boost after a string of tough results.
Yeah, they needed something, but I mean, can they carry that forward?
Right.
Because stopping Mo Salah, who's been on fire, that's a whole different challenge. The man is a machine.
The Egyptian king hunting for, his 8th consecutive Premier League game with a goal?
Absolutely.
And we all know, everyone knows, he just loves scoring against Everton. 7 goals in his career already against them.
It's going to be a fascinating tactical battle for sure. Will Everton even try to double-team Salah, potentially leaving space for other, dangerous Liverpool attackers? Or will they just focus on staying compact and frustrating Liverpool? Parking the bus, as they say. Well, the Opta supercomputer, they've crunched the numbers, and they give the Reds a 63.6% chance of winning this one, while Everton are down at 15.5%.
So the tough ask for the Toffees then.
Looks like it.
All right. Next up, we head to Villa Park for Aston Villa versus Southampton. Villa finally back in winning ways after, going through that sticky patch. And they've historically dominated Southampton.
Yeah, they've had their number. 3 wins on the trot against the Saints, and get this. Haven't conceded a single goal in those 3 matches.
Wow, right.
And up front, Ollie Watkins has been on fire at home. 5 goals in his last 6 appearances at Villa Park. So, you look at that. Yeah. And then Opta gives Villa a whopping 64.4% chance of victory. Actually, their most confident prediction of the entire week.
Wow, that's some serious confidence from the supercomputer. All right, now let's move on to a real nail-biter. Brentford against Newcastle. 2 teams locked on points, but with contrasting home and away form. Could be a really interesting one, this.
It could. Brentford, they're a different beast on their own turf. Honestly, They've secured most of their points at home this season. They love playing in front of their own crowd. But Newcastle have consistently had their number. Eddie Howe, their manager, he could be eyeing his 6th consecutive win against the Bees this weekend.
Wow, that's a run.
It is.
So what's the supercomputer saying about this one?
The supercomputer is actually a bit hesitant on this one.
Okay.
Giving Brentford a 35.1% chance, Newcastle 39.8%, and a significant 25.1% chance of a draw. So,
Habibi gang, keep an eye out for a potential stalemate in that one. It could definitely go either way. All right, next we head to Selhurst Park for Crystal Palace against the reigning champs, Manchester City.
Palace, I gotta say, have been pretty decent recently. Just 1 loss in 6.
They have. They've been solid. But, City, they have a history of silencing the Eagles at Selhurst Park. It's like they just walk in there and just, they do what they got to do. And let's not forget about, the goal machine himself. Erling Haaland. He tends to punish Palace. Remember I think it was his first Premier League hat-trick.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 2022. Came against Palace.
So he loves playing against them. And the supercomputer, well, they give City a 56.5% chance of another victory.
Okay, all right. And to round off Saturday's action, we have Manchester United hosting Nottm Forest at Old Trafford. All eyes will be on new United manager Ruben Amorim after their midweek, I wouldn't say disaster, but midweek stumble against Arsenal.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure on him now to get a result.
Yeah.
Forest have hit a bit of a slump themselves, losing 3 of their last 4. Mm-hmm. So this is a golden opportunity for United to climb the table, especially with Bruno Fernandes, pulling the strings. The guy's back to his best at Old Trafford.
Yeah, he's been directly involved in, 6 goals in his last 4 home games?
Yeah.
He's a talisman for them.
Exactly. And you know what? Opta backs United, 55.9% chance of taking all 3 points. So that wraps up Saturday's action. But Super Sunday. Oh boy, Super Sunday is jam-packed with exciting fixtures. And we kick things off with another London derby, right?
Good.
Fulham, they host an in-form Arsenal side at Craven Cottage. Should be a cracker.
Fulham, they managed to snatch a point off Arsenal last season. But can they repeat that feat against this, this new look Arsenal side? They're in red hot form right now. I mean,
they are, yeah. They're looking for their 4th straight win, I think. And, they've got Bukayo Saka, who's just a menace in London derbies. The guy's on another level.
His record is phenomenal in London derbies. 14 goal contributions in his last 14 London derbies.
Oh.
7 goals, 7 assists.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are Fulham even going to get close?
Well, the Opta supercomputer heavily favors Arsenal in this one. Like, they're giving them a 56.3% chance of victory compared to Fulham's 20.8%.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for the Cottagers.
Not really, no.
All right. Next, we head to Portman Road, where a struggling Ipswich side, they're languishing down there in the relegation zone. They welcome a buoyant Bournemouth, fresh off that, that statement win against Tottenham.
Yeah, big win for Bournemouth. They're riding a wave of momentum right now, and Justin Kluivert, he's been the main man, right? He's on fire. Bagged 4 goals in his last 2 away games, including that hat trick of penalties against Tottenham, I think it was.
Oh, that's a good return.
It is.
Liam Delap. He'll be hoping to rediscover his scoring boots for Ipswich after a quiet few games. But it's a tough ask, isn't it?
It is a tough ask.
I mean, they're really struggling.
Yeah, and Opta, they give Bournemouth a slight edge here. They're at 45.3%, Ipswich at 29.5%. But a draw is a real possibility, 25.2% chance of a draw. So
we have seen quite a few draws between these two sides recently, haven't we?
Well, yeah, we have. I think the last 4 matches have all ended in stalemates.
So definitely something for the Habibi gang to consider when they're putting their bets on or whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, a clash of styles here. Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester City, fresh from their first victory under the new manager. They face Brighton, a tough test.
Yeah, definitely a test. They pulled off that dramatic win against West Ham.
Yeah.
But their defensive frailties were very much exposed in that game. I mean, they were all over the place at the back.
They were lucky to get the 3 points.
They were lucky to get the 3 points, to be honest. So Van Nistelrooy's got work to do to tighten up that back line. And Brighton, known for their slick passing and movement, they will look to exploit any gaps. I mean, they're so good at that.
So potentially a good matchup for Brighton then.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, the supercomputer certainly thinks so. They give Brighton a strong 52.6% chance of winning, with Leicester down at 24.2%.
Okay, so not looking great for Leicester then.
Not great, no.
All right. And now for the marquee matchup of the weekend, right?
The big one.
The London Derby everyone's been waiting for. Tottenham versus Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. This one's got all the ingredients of a classic. I'm excited for this one.
Yep.
Chelsea, they're in such a rich vein of form, right? And they've absolutely dominated Tottenham in recent encounters. It hasn't even been close. Nicholas Jackson, I mean, he seems to love playing against Spurs, right?
He does, yeah.
4 goals in his 2 appearances against them, I think it is.
Including that hat trick last season.
Exactly. However, Tottenham, they're going to be desperate for a win. They've dropped to 10th now after that defeat to Bournemouth. So, Conte, he'll have them fired up for this one. So
who's got the edge in this heavyweight clash?
It's a close one, but Chelsea, they have a slight advantage according to the supercomputer. They're at 43.2%. Tottenham at 32.7% with a 24.1% chance of a draw. So it really could go either way, but, Chelsea have the momentum. They've got the history, the recent history.
That's going to be a tense watch, Habibi gang. Edge of your seat stuff.
Without a doubt. Absolutely. And to wrap up this Super Sunday, we head to the London Stadium. Monday Night Football, another big one. West Ham versus Wolves. And both teams are reeling from back-to-back defeats.
Yeah. Both managers are definitely under pressure to turn things around.
Yeah, they need a result.
Big time.
Yeah.
But which team needs this win more?
That's a tough one. I mean, Wolves' boss, Julian Lopetegui, he's facing his former club, right? But the pressure it's mounting after their recent slump, another defeat, it could really put his job on the line. West Ham, I mean, they've got a bit more breathing room. They're not in the relegation zone yet. But, they'll be equally desperate to return to winning ways.
West Ham have a formidable record against Wolves at home, though. I mean, 4 consecutive wins without conceding a single goal. That's impressive.
It is. And Wolves' attack, I mean, it's misfired recently. So, can they unlock West Ham's solid defense? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Matheus Cunha and Pedro Neto, they'll need to be at their creative best to unlock well-organized West Ham side.
So what does Opta say?
Well, Opta fancies the Hammers. They give them a 53.5% chance of victory, while Wolves are down at 22.7%. So not looking great for Lopetegui and his men.
So there you have it, Habibi gang. Every single Matchday 15 fixture dissected, all powered by the insights of the Opta supercomputer.
But, we all know the Premier League it's a beast of its own.
Well, it is, yeah.
Upsets happen, twists, turns. It's all part of the DNA of this beautiful league.
It is, yeah. That's what keeps us coming back for more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could see, shock results, wonder goals, those moments of magic that, we'll be replaying for years to come.
It makes the Premier League the most exciting league in the world,
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So buckle up, Habibi gang. Another thrilling weekend of Premier League action awaits. We can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
And, make sure you guys tune in daily, right away, for more in-depth analysis, banter, all things football, right here on the Pundit Habibi podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the action. Until next time, Habibi gang, enjoy the games.